What's going on, everyone? This is the Kid DC Wrestling back at it again with another video. And today I have a very special video about NXT 2.0. And as you see by the title, you see by the thumbnail, we are here to talk about the four pillars of NXT 2.0. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world does NXT 2.0 have four pillars? Like what do you mean four pillars of NXT 2.0? Well, if you all have been watching AEW Dynamite for the past few months, AEW has been hyping up these four main guys, but as MJF would call it, these four pillars who are going to lead AEW for the next decade or so. And obviously those four men are Darby Allin, MJF, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy. And when I look at NXT 2.0, there are four main guys, as you see in the thumbnail. These four pillars of NXT 2.0 who I really feel like are not just only going to dominate NXT 2.0 for the foreseeable future, but I feel like that these four men could eventually take over the main roster and eventually be big stars when they eventually get traded off to Raw and SmackDown or whatever, show they go to on the main roster. But these four men I really can see being big stars on the main roster. So let's not waste your time. Let's get started with Tony D'Angelo being the first pillar. Ever since he's made his NXT 2.0 debut, there was something about Tony D'Angelo that immediately caught my eye. Maybe mainly due to the fact that he had this Godfather, Goodfellas, which are really good movies, by the way, style, characteristic, this man who was from a family business, born and raised in the mean streets of Chicago, and just bringing this dirty, this grimy mentality, I should say, when he's stepping into the ring. So Tony D'Angelo, rightfully so, qualifies to being in this category of being one of the four pillars in not AEW, I almost said AEW, but NXT 2.0, excuse me there. So let's move on to the second pillar. Yes, the second pillar we have from Australia. This little dirtbag from Australia, I should say, Mr. Grayson Waller. And really, at first, Grayson Waller, I was kind of a little skeptical about this kid. I was like, who the heck is this guy? But when he made his presence known at NXT War Games, when he took all those bumps, but particularly after War Games, when he attacked Johnny Gargano, putting Johnny Gargano through the table, sending Johnny Gargano off into free agency, I was like, oh yeah, this kid is cool. Grayson Waller has that dirtbag, scumbag effect where you just don't like him. He has that punchable face where you want to see him get punched in the face. And he just has that heel mentality about him. He plays it really good. Like, I have to give Grayson Waller credit. Like, he plays his part very well. And honestly, if he continues to keep up what he's doing, because, look what it's bringing. AJ Styles came down to NXT 2.0 for one reason and one reason only: Grayson Waller. He didn't come for nobody else, just Grayson Waller. So definitely Grayson Waller is rightfully so qualified to being in the second category of the pillars of NXT 2.0. Now let's move on to the third. We have the current NXT North American and Cruiserweight champion, Carmelo Hayes. When I look at Carmelo Hayes, the second I saw this guy in the breakout, when he won the breakout tournament, I should say, I knew that this dude was automatically going to be a future star. This guy has this cool factor about him, even with his buddy, Tricky, it's just man, this guy is dope. Okay, this dude looks fun to hang around. He just has that cool factor about him. You know what I'm saying? But what I like about Carmelo is that he talks his big game. He has this cool factor about him. And then he backs it up in the ring. The guys can have some pretty good matches in the ring. Look what he did with Roderick Strong in the title unification match. That was a great match. So obviously Carmelo Hayes can go on the mic and he can go on the ring. Definitely someone I could definitely see being a big star in the WWE one day. And now the fourth, and obviously the favorable one out of all the four pillars, we have the NXT champion Braun Breaker, Braun Steiner, because obviously his father is Rick Steiner. He's associated with the Steiner brothers and, of course, Scott Steiner. And it was obvious from the moment that NXT 2.0 launched, since their debut episode, that Braun Breaker was prompted up to be a big star. He beats LA Knight in his first match. He faces Tommaso Ciampa. He gets the pin in the he pins Tommaso Ciampa and gets his team to win in War Games. He beats Tommaso Ciampa. Braun Breaker is the element of NXT 2.0, and he is the forefront. He is the leader of this NXT 2.0 movement, and I can definitely see him being a huge star in the WWE. I mean, there's something about this kid, when he's talking on the promo, you get that Steiner feel into it, you know what I'm saying? He may not be called Steiner, but when he goes talking in the promo, sure does he remind you a lot of his daddy and his uncle. And like I said before, man, the guy is pretty good in the ring, pretty good, has some decent matches. But then again, when he gets going, he can have those pretty good matches. So definitely, man, Braun Breaker is definitely fitting on this category. And yeah, man, that's the video. This has been the four pillars. In my opinion, these are the four pillars of NXT 2.0. These are the men that are going to lead NXT for the next few, years. And then eventually, when they go to the main roster, I honestly do believe they're going to main event and they're going to take over the main roster one day. So when that day comes. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.